What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're gonna be working on the C10 again, getting this thing ready for paint. If you guys have not got entered for a chance to win this thing yet, we're doing 15 times entries and tools in random orders on MotionAutoTv.com. Got a lot of work to do, let's get to work. All right. So, C10's out on the back porch. Josh, what do you think?
Never ends.
Never ends. Well, now we're just getting ready to spray a little bit of guide coat. And then we're actually getting ready to put the bed on it right now. But before we put the bed on it, just gonna go ahead and block some of the things right here on the back of the C10. Yeah, we're gonna put it on there just so we can get some things welded.
We're not gonna put it on there and then paint and leave the back of the cab primered.
I mean, we could, right? It could be a similar color. Actually, I wasn't supposed to tell him what the color was.
You already told him what the color was. You put it on the
No, I didn't. It's not in that video yet. Well, in the VIP group. If you guys were part of the VIPs.
See, there you go, right there. VIP saw it first.
Yeah, hey, don't get no overspray on the Mercedes, okay? So the guide coat is another tool that you use with the primer to essentially block everything out, and then the low spots that you'll have, like like sand scratches or any like low spots in the body filler or any dents that we did not see, you will see them as like a little dark spot, and then everything else around that primer will be nice. So that's what Josh is doing, just spraying this on here real quick. Guide coat it, clear coat it.
Same color it's gonna be right there, so.
Maybe.
This is the fun part of Bodywork. This is like the satisfying part of it. Like when you start blocking it. The satisfying part is when it's done and out of your
when it drives away.
Yeah, that's the more
when it drives away and you get the check.
Yep.
You like this?
I do like that a lot. It's like I feel like what's the guy, Bob Barker, buddy from, remember he had that like,
yep,
when they need two paint, we need a yardstick.
Now Josh, my boy, I'd love to give you that. A new truck.
Price is wrong, Bob.
All right, so Josh is giving this thing a little block. What grit are you using?
120.
120 grit. So you can see this is a perfect example of the guide coat. So right there's no dents, no scratches. Right here, there's some scratches that just need blocked out. Any low spots or anything yet?
A little bit.
So like right there's like a little bit, but there's enough primer right here that should probably
I'm not too concerned about it.
Disappear.
The bed comes up to like here.
Basically just get her flattened out a little bit and should be good to go. But yeah, basically do that around this whole thing. Find the low spots, find the high spots, find the sand scratches, get it all done. And then if it gets to a certain point, then, if there's like a little low spot right here, you just sand the inside of it, put a little bit of filler, block it back out, spot prime, block it again, ready to paint. So we're getting close. We're moving along nicely. Making some really good progress on blocking this thing. It's crazy, like just looking at it when it first comes out of the booth and you see the sand scratches and the little dips and stuff in it. Whereas right now it's looking really good. So you can see a little low spot where the mirror is, little low spot right here. Well, actually this technically isn't even a low spot. We just stopped sanding there because we have those front pieces.
That cowl deal on.
So we're gonna do the the panel things right there. Right here, there was a little low spot. So Josh put a little bit of filler right there, blocked all that stuff out. So, I mean, it's just crazy how good it looks. Yeah, looking down the side of it.
Block the car across the panels and get a nice and even sand. It's beautiful.
Because this thing did not fit like this, and these things didn't even fit this good from the factory. So whoever wins this thing is gonna be hopefully a really, really happy camper. But Jamie has been at the house shipping stuff, and she's like, hey, we're on the last week of stuff now, pretty much. We're almost caught up with most of the orders. We need the tools to put in the orders, because this week we are doing tools in orders. So me and Sean right now are gonna head to the local store. We're gonna go grab some Milwaukee tools, so that way Jamie can start shipping out the final last week of orders, which is basically this week, which we have like 2 days left of this giveaway. And hopefully we have this thing closer to paint, or at least maybe painted, at least the cab, by the end of this giveaway. Sean, let's go grab some tools, get these guys some tools, and you have the chance to win that thing and possibly get some tools in your order. Possibly get both. Get some tools and that.
So, and depending on how many orders you purchase, maybe some cash in there too.
Maybe you got some cash. Maybe you're VIP, you got double entries.
Yeah.
We're doing great.
Yeah. Gotta get a John Deere tractor in your order.
All right guys, we're in here, we're starting out small. Go ahead.
What do you think we need, buddy?
Grab them, just dump them. Dump them in. We'll keep that thing, we'll just get them all. We like that. Now we need markers, because we're gonna try to give as many people as many things as we can. So there you go. Grab the whole thing.
Should we get some silver boys?
Or grab some red ones. Grab some for us too, but grab them all. Then 16, you really can't do much with a 12. 16 is kind of okay. 25, we can do a couple of these units, right?
Okay.
Just throw some of those units in there.
I wonder what the people that work there think about it.
Well, it looks like we're getting ready to run out with it, is what it looks like we're getting ready to do. They're probably used to that, so I think we need more markers. There's more markers here. Let's just go ahead. We need like all the markers, because I want as many people to get something as we can, and then we'll move on to the big stuff.
That's $100 in markers right there.
Yeah, it's easy. $100 and markers. What do you think about this? Freaking impact wrench that plugs into 120? That's kind of weird. We need like some battery powered stuff. Yep, that's what we need, the nibbler. But we don't need that. That doesn't make sense for, I think. We need like some tools, like some actual tools for people. Impact things, little drivers, little drill bit kits, maybe a light, maybe a battery pack. I don't know, I feel like lights aren't really a thing. I mean, maybe that's not bad.
Look at this. Look.
You like that? 300 lumen?
18 volt.
Look at that one.
Volt.
$50, $50. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, I think a light might not be bad.
All right, so we need 15 and 23.
Oh, yeah.
So we need those, probably at least 2 of those. 2-piece combo kit, drill, and this little impact driver. These things actually work really good as long as you get one of those, like the little impact driver to like a 3/8.
Yeah.
Like one of these things right here. You put one of those on there, and then you use that little impact driver for all your things.
Like if something's too tight, just break it loose real quick and run it out.
So this is the section that we were more so looking at. So little 3/8 driver kit, little things like that. These little things are really nice. We're gonna look for a kit that comes with batteries and stuff.
This is what I wanted, but they didn't have it here.
Well,
They have it here.
look at that's a little chainsaw. That's kind of tight. Imagine all the body filler we could cut out with that. Oh yeah, the little 90-degree things. So actually, I think we found the perfect thing. So 3/8 M12 comes with 2 batteries, the kit and everything, the charger, and that's like an actual impact with the 3/8 thing. We did a couple of these on the last giveaway, and the people that got them were, I think they really liked them. So I think let's do 2 of those. So this is what that is right there. Nice little guy right
But
there.
they have that one for 200 with a drill and a...
But it doesn't have this
Yeah.
tip though.
Yeah.
It's more so this right there. We need to grab what, 2 of these guys? I think we need one of these too. I think they only have 1 left in stock too. We give everybody a mask, right? Large and XL probably. See if it all fits. Got a lot of tools. I think that lady kind of freaked out a little bit. She's like, well, what are you guys doing with all this stuff? I was like, well, we send it out in order. So if you guys want the chance to win about $1,000 worth of Milwaukee tools, bringing me some tools, go to MotionAutoTv.com, get in for a chance to win the C10. So after we got the Milwaukee tools, now we are at the shop. Sean, I like your seat, buddy.
You like that?
Do you think this thing's gonna have seats in it before we have to give it away?
I hope.
We should. We actually got a really sick set of seats coming for this thing from Holley, which was actually made by Brothers Truck Company, which is now basically under the Holley umbrella. I'll put a picture of those seats right here on the screen. They're gonna be really sick. They're shipping out the 1st, which is after the giveaway ends, obviously. We're gonna have a lot of stuff to do this thing after the giveaway is done, because I don't think it's gonna be done. It might be painted. We might have some things painted. You think we're gonna have some things painted?
I sure hope so. Should be.
At least a little bit of paint. Now what we're gonna do is pull this truck over to the other side of the shop and put the bed on it. So fire it up, give it a pump. This thing sounds like a monster truck.
Yeah, it does sound good.
Like honestly, this is such a good sounding engine. The engine is pretty much almost brand new. Like
The
right
motor is brand new, and we're gonna put a brand new carbonator on it.
brand new carburetor. We're gonna get a radiator fan shroud and some other little things. And this right here is the little taste of all the Milwaukee tools that we are putting in orders now until the end of the giveaway. We got these 2 little impact things. We got a grinder, we got some tape measures, we got some things, we got some markers. I just want to try to give as many people as many things as we possibly can. These tape measures are really cool. My kids, like if you guys have kids, just give them one of these tape measures. Let them play with, I don't know, they like messing with these tape measures, I guess. But yeah, we got some gloves, we got some things. We got a lot of work to do. have the truck bed sitting down on the frame. Got some stuff kind of trying to get figured out over here. Sean went ahead and drilled an amazing hole. Look at that. That is right where that thing needs to be. We need to cut the neck off of this thing for the fuel cell. So essentially when you fill this thing up with fuel, fill it up right there. That's your gas, your little gas tank. We deleted the little fuel tank door right there. Plenty of space in the cab for some nice seats. Typically when you have this tailgate setup right here is there's a chain, a really ugly chain that kind of hangs down right here, and it like loops in like a little hook right here, and it just holds itself on there. Basically it looks like something that you would lock like a cabinet or like a shed or something with. We deleted that. Normally what you'd do is you would unhook that from there and then you'd hook it right here, and that would hold your tailgate in like the 90-degree position. I picked up these things right here. These are just some set of little tailgate hinges. These go up in here, assuming here at the top.
I think these are supposed to be on. Well, how do those latches work?
The latches? Well, because that was part of that other piece, right? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Sean, what are you doing right here, buddy?
Custom latches.
You like the custom latch?
Yeah, they're nice. They fit kind of funny, but they're nice.
Yep.
I do like them.
So going along with what we did yesterday, installed these little bars right here. We had to cut out this little section, obviously, because it needed a place to live, needed a little bit of a home. So we have these, what are these latches even called? Hidden latches.
Hidden latches.
Hidden tailgate latch kit. And so what Sean did is drill a hole right here. Now he's gonna drill another hole right there. Essentially what this latch does is it pins in right here and it just does that. So that's where it goes. It'll latch up in here somewhere. Josh is putting a stud right here on the bed. There was a little dent that got in here on shipping. So we're gonna pull that out. Oh my goodness.
This drill bit drilled a triangle hole.
How did that happen?
I don't know, it's like a triangle hole.
I like it. Sean was getting some stuff welded over here on the inside, basically to kind of hold.
Pretty.
It's not pretty?
Not yet. I'm gonna like clean it up before we paint it with like something good. But basically I just welded some nuts in there. So basically the way this thing works is there's these slides, like a pin type deal on a spring, and it slides, and it's basically supposed to go inside the side of the bed.
So you welded a nut in there.
Welded a nut because these wouldn't.
They're not long
They're
enough.
not long enough. Pull them in.
Close it.
They're nice and solid.
Mm-hmm.
They're actually really nice. They're kind of, there's a lot of tension on them.
The tailgate doesn't wiggle. It folds.
It does.
It folds.
But yeah, I'm gonna clean that up and make that look prettier, but I just kind of tack welded some nuts in there just to see if that actually would work to hold it in. So we're gonna make that nice.
Well, looks good. So one of the interesting things about these old trucks is that, you know, something that I guess you wouldn't typically think about when you're painting an old truck is, okay, on a new car, the interior is all covered in plastic and different materials and replaceable things. Well, the interiors in these old trucks, the dash is pretty much in here. I think it's, Josh, are these dashes welded in? Yeah, it's welded in right there. So the dash is literally welded in, it's metal, and it's the same color as essentially the truck came from the factory. So, you know, when you're painting the truck, you gotta paint the dash as well, and that's what we're gonna be doing here. So there's a little dent right here, there's a dent right there. This front grille right here had a couple little dents and some random things right there. There's a small little dip right here. Right here, there's a little ding. There's a little ding. So we're actually gonna be doing body filler, body work on the interior of this thing, which is, like I said, you wouldn't think that you'd have to do body work on the interior of your car. That's what we're doing. Sean got the first little skim of that thing blocked out, so now I need to put a little bit more filler on it. You're looking nice, right? If you guys can't tell, this obviously escalated a little bit further than what we thought, but it's turning out really good. It's just taking a little bit longer. But if you'd have told me that I would have been doing body work on the interior of a truck, I wouldn't have believed you. Here we are, you know? I never knew you'd have to put filler on your dash to get it nice, but I guess that's what happens when you're working on these old units like this. The new filler work is done, so now all there is left to do is put basically primer back over that, block it one more time. If everything goes good with that, we'll basically spray sealer on it, paint it. So we're getting close, very far away, but it is turning out really, really good. Almost see the light at the end of the tunnel. Whether it's gonna be painted or not before the end of the giveaway, we don't know, but eventually we will get it done, probably about a week after the giveaway ends, which, you know, normally takes us 7 to 10 days. Contact the winner, figure out them picking it up, and normally it's about 30 days after the giveaway ends when they actually pick up their vehicle. So we should have time to button up everything, and we'll continue making videos and doing all that stuff. So I guess now what do we do? Mix up some primer? Should we put it in the booth or just do it outside? The booth, we basically tried it in the booth. So we tried out the booth because I wanted to see how the booth was. So we got some new weather stripping on the booth. Got a new thing right here, a little bit of foam. So it's almost ready for painting in there. Now we just gotta spray some more primer. So cab is back in primer. Fenders and everything should be good up front here. So basically just primed right here. Primed a little bit using the 2K primer on the dash, and where I did a little bit of filler work there in the cab. So all that stuff should block out really good. But man, overall this thing is so freaking straight now that it's had basically its first blocking of primer, and then now we got this primer, block it again, and then just like a coat of sealer, and it should be ready to paint. So that leads us to the bed. Josh, what do you think about this bed? You like it?
It works.
Needs some work. So the slippery slope continues. You know, we were supposed to buy the bed sides. That way we didn't have to do a bunch of body work and stuff. So we had this little dent that happened during shipping. So got that one filled, but as you start to block the rest of it, you can see that there's some low spots. That right there is a low spot. You can see the sand scratches right here, but they didn't touch right here in the middle. So that's low. Right over here, that looks like possibly a little low spot right there. You know, that stuff might come out with a good coat of primer with blocking it like that, or just a little skim of icing, the filler. Sean is kind of, you know, blocking some of that stuff right here in the back where we did the filler for filling in all them holes. So, looking good though. Looking good, a lot of work.
Looking good, feeling good.
We're doing great. We need to wear the We're Doing Great shirts now.
Tomorrow, Monday.
Okay.
Early the next morning. All right, so just stopped at DNS to grab some more stuff. Came out and look at this. It's a Kia, and that's that color right there. Same exact color we're painting the C10, and there it is. All right, so now that you've seen the official paint color for the thing, or I guess we're not gonna spray it yet, but maybe we might spray something for the end of this video. Yesterday we did another primer coat on this thing, so got it coated in primer. Josh got here a little bit ago this morning, guide coated it, and started blocking the rest of the cab with 120. I think there's one or two little spots that we need to fix on it, and then other than that, we're gonna spray it with one more coat of primer, 400 grit it, and essentially seal it and then paint it. So potentially, maybe today or tomorrow. Today's Saturday, tomorrow is Sunday, the last day of the giveaway, which is probably the day that you guys are watching this, will be potentially paint day on the cab. So I guess you guys will know whether we get it painted in this video or not. But for right now, all we're gonna do is continue sanding. I gotta do some stuff on the interior. We're gonna pull the doors off here in a minute, get ripping. So like I said, one of the things that I didn't think that we'd be doing was body filler and body work in the interior, and dash and everything looks really good. Got all that primed and sanded, blocked out, looks really nice. Over here, there was actually this weird little spot where like the metal was like ripped, like right here in the corner. And I don't know what happened, if somebody like strapped something to it or like did something weird, but the metal was ripped right there. So I basically hammered that out, welded in the seam, put a little bit of filler right there. Right here in the door jambs, the previous owner, he welded on these rockers and only tack welded them in a couple spots. So I went ahead, finished full welding them, grinded them down, and now just need to kind of put a little bit of filler in there, smooth them out, and get them ready to go. But basically this side and that side are the same. Been a couple hours since the last update, but me and Josh have a couple more hours of sanding in this thing. The door jambs all tidied up, got the filler on there, sanded out pretty good. Got everything pretty much done on the roof and the back and the nooks and the crannies, and Scotch brighted the whole door jamb and all that stuff. So essentially the door jamb's ready for primer. This should be the final coat of primer on the outside of the body. Now, since we're pretty much at the final stages, I just went ahead and laid a little bit of seam sealer down here in the little crevices. That was one of the first things we did, was just grind all that stuff out. So a couple more spots like right here, we'll go ahead and replace in that. And then down this side right here, it'll go down the edge, all the way around down there on that little edge of stuff. Essentially gonna try to paint the cab. I don't think we're gonna get it done tonight, but I think tomorrow. So
could get this thing in primer before we leave today, and then come back early tomorrow, sand the cab in 400 grit, and then we should be able to spray it in the interior and then have a painted cab, essentially. Maybe the fenders too? Think we can spray the fenders too? Yeah. Okay. So we'll get fenders and the cab. It'll look pretty good. At least we'll have something painted on it. The doors are super close, but like I said, we need to finish the little piece right here as well as the hood, but we want to make sure all that stuff lines up. We're gonna wait to officially sand these doors, and you know, because they might need a little bit more stuff to modify or to mock up to the rest of the truck. All right, so the truck is all maxed up again. Gonna do primer in the door jambs right here, primer on the roof and all that stuff. Essentially, this is going to be a thinned down, kind of reduced coat of primer, and what that's for is so that we don't have to sand it as much, because basically this is just to fill in the like 120/220 grit scratch that we've like kind of been blocking this stuff with. So we don't really need that much on it. I'll put a couple thicker coats right here just so we could sand that stuff good, but the rest of it basically just needs that little thin coat that goes on super smooth. We're gonna hit that with 400 grit tomorrow, and then hopefully paint the cab. So it is 9:30 at night. I got the truck primed. Everything is good with that. Basically ready for its 400 grit sanding tomorrow, and then essentially just throw it in the booth, paint it. Before I left for the night, I decided to finish sealing up the paint booth. So grab the caulking, caulked all around the sides on there. Everything should be good. We got some new foam on these edges. The only thing I really need to do before tomorrow, put a piece of foam right here. The paint booth should be pretty much ready to go. So things getting painted tomorrow, which is today as you guys are watching this thing. I'll probably do a little bit of a live stream on YouTube or something. I don't know if I should like live stream while I'm painting or, you know, doing something like that. It's a slippery slope, the paint and bodywork, and it's hard to let things go, and it escalated a lot further than what we initially intended, but this is gonna be a really, really good product for, you know, the winter. So grab some entries. Today is the last day that you guys are watching this thing. I think that's it. I'm just tired. I'm tired of sanding. I'm tired of stressing about this thing. Good luck to anybody who's got entered. See you guys tomorrow.